This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com. This week on a new TV Tuners, Stairmaster has a kitchen mishap.
Oh god, it's everywhere! Oh no! Oh!
And Swanson and Kyorain are on a submarine. Again?
Swanson, I'm the captain now.
Okay. All that and more on a new TV Tuners. Hello folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive into the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and guy who loves doing heroin, Stairmaster.
I'm gonna put nipples on the bat suit.
Yeah, you're gonna be a great guy someday who's he's gonna do a lot of things. He's gonna make Kiefer Sutherland a vampire.
He directed Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Oh, that's Joel Schumacher.
Yes.
Schuster.
Yes.
Schumacher.
Yes.
Huh. Good on him. And with us, as always, of course, is our other co-host and
gay guy,
Liza Minnelli, Kyorain.
Hey, learn how to say my name correctly, or it's gonna be really bad for you, okay?
Oh? Like how bad?
Like, I'm gonna burst into song and dance about how you don't say it right.
Oh, I don't want that.
Yeah, it's gonna be delightful, and you're gonna be devastated.
Delightfully devastated.
Yeah, just on your knees.
Devastating, Seymour.
You're gonna be on your knees in delighted despair.
Oh.
You're gonna be on your knees for Kyo's set of pipes.
Dang.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, welcome to TV Tuners for another week. As always, We're talking about the TV and only TV, nothing else but the TV.
And we're here in Denver, Colorado.
That's right. So it's a breezy day.
It sure is, as always.
And listen, if you like the pod and you have, but you have thoughts that you want to give us, you have some sort of quip, some sort of comment, a question, foresight, otherwise, well, luckily we have an email just for those kind of situations.
What?
Oh,
yeah. What you do is you email us at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
sounds right so far.
And we read it aloud here on the pod. What's that email, Kyorain?
Yeah, it's currently the temperature here in Denver is 84 degrees Fahrenheit, and the wind is at 4 miles per hour. So it is definitely a cool, breezy day here.
That's right.
In Denver. And our email is tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. You can be like Geo, who sent us this email. Why wasn't Dr. Robotnik tried for his crimes against humanity at the end of Sonic 1996? Boys, the other day I had a powerful hankering to see Sonic 2020. But when I got to the store, I only had enough money for Sonic 1996. I ain't one to complain, so I took it. Turns out, Sonic 1996 kicks ass. The drawings are tight, the music is dope, the stakes were high, and so was I. High on the wholesome pleasure of hand-drawn animation. I almost cried at the end when the writers wanted me to suddenly consider Metal Sonic's humanity.
Oh.
I guess whoever wrote Toy Story 3 almost cried too. But why did they just let Robotnik off at the end? That creepy-ass motherfucker almost destroyed the entire Earth and wiped out humanity. And he kidnapped a child that he planned to marry. What the fuck? What a piece of shit. But at the end, they don't do shit. But just, like, fucking anime jog towards the camera and chuckle and shit.
Is she a child?
Why don't they try that motherfucker? Fuck Dr. Robotnik. Or was that shit like an intentional commentary on the systemic causes of oppression or how the systemic causes of oppression are never addressed, and the elite never pay for their crimes? In that case, David Simon got some checks to write. Checks to Sonic 1990 motherfucking 6. Gee.
All right, so I think the real reason is there wouldn't be any possibility for a sequel if they just had it executed.
I think they were geared towards a sequel possibility there.
Yeah. Also, David Simon doing a doing a Sonic program sounds fascinating, fellas.
I mean, wasn't that the Saturday morning cartoon where they're freedom fighters in the forest?
David Simon did that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, all right. It was in between working in the streets of Baltimore.
Yeah.
Under a pseudonym because he didn't want to have his actual name on it.
Fun fact, Ken Penders, that's David Simon.
Oh, no!
So, did David Simon himself design Sally Acorn?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, what a sick person.
Yeah, true madman.
Mind. Well,
anyway, Kyo got it on the nail on the head there. They had sequels in mind that never came about. Although that is it is a nice reminder that Robotnik is sort of an Epstein figure.
Hold on, I don't think that lady was like a child. She was very tall.
Wasn't she? I don't know. I don't think she was of age because Sonic is technically a child.
Sonic is like a teen with attitude.
I guarantee you, Princess Sarah was like canonically like 14 years old.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, very true. Anyway, it is a good movie.
I guess.
You guess? I don't know. I feel like it's... I don't know. Is it better or worse than 2020? Sonic.
Better.
Not the year. It's definitely better than the year. But
it's got Knuckles. It's got a big robot.
True. I guess the only way the sequel to Sonic 2020 could be better is if Metal Sonic is in it.
Yes. Which they won't do because Hollywood is huffing its own farts.
Full of cowards. Yeah.
So the Sonic fandom wiki has no age entry for this character. So I guess there was no supplementary material that said her age. So it could be whatever age you want, fellas.
I feel like it was implied that she is at least a teenager.
It's Toei Animation, so actually Keel might be right. She might not be.
Yeah.
She did act pretty childish, didn't she? Like have a tantrum over a video game.
Yeah. To be fair, I think it's pretty... I don't know if it's clear, but I think the plan here is that Robotnik is not intending to do anything untoward with her so much as marry her to gain power.
No, he wanted to have 20 children with her.
Yeah, they definitely did a cutaway gag of what their children would look like.
I forgot that part. Uh-oh. Anyway, why does Knuckles get a cool hat and that and nowhere else?
Because he's a treasure hunter.
I mean, I'm saying he should have that cool hat elsewhere.
They brought the hat back for Mania, didn't they?
Yeah,
yes. That's true.
I believe he has the hat in like some of the artwork they did for like Sonic the Wallpaper. Don't quote me on that though.
Yeah, he needs to wear that hat like always. Why didn't they bring it back for everything? That's what you're really asking, right, Swanson?
Yes, because it's like getting a nice leather jacket that you only wear once.
I think that hat kind of just, draws attention to how naked Knuckles is. And that's why they don't have him wear it anymore.
I guess that's true.
Does it really?
It also makes him look really cool.
I don't know.
Do you see a character like this wearing a hat and you're just like, oh...
Wow, he's not wearing anything else.
Is that what you thought when you saw Sally Acorn?
So that's different,
just
though.
A vest.
She's wearing an actual piece of clothing. A hat's an accessory, like Sonic's shoes and gloves.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Sonic's shoes and gloves do not accentuate that he is naked otherwise.
Well, no, otherwise Bugs Bunny would be bad, too.
Do any of the Looney Tunes characters wear accessories?
Porky Pig wears clothes.
Yeah, Porky Pig has like a whole vest. He's he's the original Sally Acorn.
No, I mean like accessories, not like a piece of clothing.
Doesn't Sylvester have a thing sometimes?
No. I think Sylvester is just like a regular ass cat. He doesn't even have gloves.
Yeah, but like on his neck, usually. I could have sworn
It's
he
a
has
collar.
Like a collar. That's an accessory.
That's like a
Sometimes
typical.
a bow tie.
It's like a typical like pet accessory, though. Maybe a bow tie.
Yeah. Who does Pepe Le Pew have like a bow tie? Is that a thing?
That's probably what I'm thinking of. They're both black.
See, I'm looking him up on Google, and he's not typically drawn wearing any accessories.
Good.
What do you think I'm gonna find?
Yeah, you won't like it. That's for sure.
I'm looking through it right now, and there's nothing.
Oh, you know what? My favorite Looney Tune has an accessory. Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He has a basketball.
Perhaps Knuckles
true.
should have a basketball.
So Porky Pig both has a bow tie and a vest. So
All right, so he fits both descriptions of what we were talking about. A true pioneer.
So basically, he should be in jail, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yosemite Sam wears clothing.
That's a human man.
He's not.
If he didn't wear clothing,
humans
it would
don't
be
look
weirder.
like that.
What is he?
An alien.
No, that's Martian.
Maybe it's a dwarf.
That's Marvin the Martian. I was about to say Martian Manhunter. Which is also true, but not a Looney Tune.
Same character.
I think Martian Manhunter is part of the Looney Tunes universe because of that Duck Dodgers episode where he joins the Green Lantern Corps.
Oh, okay. Who would win in a fight, Marvin the Martian or Martian Manhunter?
Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
Can Marvin the Martian fight?
No.
He has a gun.
It's true, actually. He's actually, outside of Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd, he's the most prepared to fight.
Yeah,
I feel like he's actually better at fighting than Elmer Fudd. He usually shoots bugs, and Bugs gets really fucked up by it.
Yeah,
sort of like
very
a
true.
Space Ghost and Zorax type dynamic.
Bugs or Daffy?
Bugs.
The most
Bugs
formidable...
doesn't get it as much, but he does get it sometimes.
That's crazy. I can't remember a time when Bugs Bunny just got defeated.
Well, he gets shot with a laser gun. He doesn't get defeated. He just like all burned.
Yeah, he comes back better than ever, Kieran.
Yeah, in the end he prevails, but
I think there have been shorts where he has lost, though.
It's like pretty rare, though.
Yeah, it's like 2 in the total canon. The most dangerous Looney Tune, as we all know, of course, is Tasmanian Devil.
yes.
Because he can spin?
Yeah, that dude's unstoppable. I feel like Martian Manhunter would get fucked up by that guy.
Yeah, he can't shoot fast enough. He takes his sweet time shooting his laser gun.
Okay, but what if the Roadrunner became evil?
Oh, that would... Wait, I don't know. Does he have any offensive capabilities?
He can go very fast, and he's a cunning intellect.
Yeah, he has a very cunning intellect.
Also, he has a beak he can peck you with, and since he's super fast, it'd be like
you would die.
It'd be like invincible.
He'll peck you to death in like a few seconds.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So Robotnik should be tried for his crimes, but they won't because there wouldn't be a sequel. I think that's the conclusion here.
I think he's like a major campaign donor to the president.
Yeah. Hopefully that
Did the
answers your
president
question,
like him in the
Kieran.
OVA? I think
No.
like he didn't like him at all.
I think he was mad that his daughter got kidnapped by him.
And then he broke into his house
Yeah.
and forced a filthy hedgehog to come over and rescue her.
All right. So with all that out of the way, let's get to the tweet of the week, huh, Stair? We have a Twitter page, and Stairmaster is going to show us the best thing he saw on Twitter this week.
All right. This tweet comes from @It'sLinkLauren, who writes, "All I've learned from Halston on Netflix is that some of you all really need to talk to someone and heal from your early childhood traumas, because they are not an excuse for being a shitty adult decades and decades later. Halston's pathetic, in my opinion. No evolution at all."
What's going on with this tweet?
Brutal. Brutal takedown of a man who died of AIDS in the early 90s.
He did a no growth.
So this is directed at Halston, not someone else? Who's y'all, though? I thought I had the word y'all.
I think this
It's
is directed at y'all.
This is a catch-all for anybody who fits these determining factors. 1, Halston. 2,
Gay people
unchecked.
on Twitter, presumably.
Yes.
Like this person like watched the show and then just thought of people on Twitter.
Yes, who are apparently using their childhood traumas as a crutch.
Which, I guess, that could just be everybody, right?
How do you use a trauma as a crutch, though? How's that work?
Yeah, isn't a trauma normally like a thing that you...
One time I got mauled by a dog and got some scratches on my face. That's why I can't record this podcast anymore, so you guys.
That's not a crutch, that's an excuse.
I think that's...
Kyorain, what is a crutch but an excuse?
Okay, I got
just
mauled
take
by
them
a
off
dog,
and start walking.
So that's why I had to seduce your girlfriend.
Alright, that's unacceptable.
I mean, that's still an excuse, technically.
Yeah, a crutch is like a tool you use to make things easier.
No, he says excuse in the tweet. They're not an excuse for being a shitty adult.
Alright, so they learn from this show that people have childhood trauma that they need to heal from, but how do you get that from this show? It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, because his mom was beaten.
Yeah, clearly, there's clearly something going on in his childhood that precludes what's going on in his life. Otherwise, they wouldn't be showing it to us, I'd imagine.
Halston?
From
the show?
Halston.
From the show Halston.
Alright, but who's y'all?
People on Twitter.
Yeah, people who, I guess, really need to talk to someone and heal from their early childhood traumas. I like that this is the second week in a row where we've gone real in depth with what the tweet of the week could possibly mean.
People need to start making sense or there's going to be problems.
Alright, so my takeaway here is that they watched Halston and they recognized that Halston had a problem with childhood traumas that also applies to people they know.
On Twitter.com.
Yeah, but then say the Halston's pretty pathetic because it didn't evolve. So, Sarah, you need to get over your traumas. That dog that mauled you, just get over it.
It wasn't even a big dog either.
To be fair, this person does say they should talk to someone. So it's not just them saying that you need to solve it yourself. Anyway, Stairmaster's pathetic, in my opinion. No evolution at all.
I just like the way to judgmentally talk about people who have trauma, not just like...
Hey, listen, y'all need to really talk to someone, okay? And that's all I'm going to say about the matter.
Yeah, and by someone, I mean us. Email us at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
Or follow us on Twitter at tvtuners. Anyway,
tell us about the worst thing that's ever happened to you, and we'll...
Oh no, one time I went to, my parents took me to this like fellowship picnic, and I wandered off with the kids in the woods, and they knocked over a beehive.
Uh-oh.
And I got stung by all the bees.
What, really?
And I almost fell in a riverbed.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then I went home and watched Digimon.
Well, I'm glad you weren't allergic. You would have been...
Story.
Oh, I would have died.
Yeah, you would have been a corpse if you were allergic.
I would have never met you guys.
Dang.
Better world.
Yeah, I would be... If I didn't meet Stair, I'd be basically Tony Stark right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Stair's holding us back, is what you're saying.
No, I'd be like a narcissist.
Yeah, I'm the only one who keeps Kia real.
I'm tuning out on this tweet.
Yeah, I'm tuning out too.
I'm tuning out. Be nice to people on Twitter.
Please.
Yeah, y'all need to learn how to be nice to people on Twitter.
Some of y'all are being nasty right now.
Alright, well, speaking of people who we're going to be real nice to, let's get to the rabble, huh?
Our lovingly named segment.
Alright, so the rabble is a segment here on the pod where we, before we get to our main event later in the show, talking about Halston, we're going to show you, and by show you I mean tell you, because we're going to read them, critics reviews and IMDb reviews that showcase a little what people are saying about this show before you get our critical analysis, our breakdown of the first episode of Halston. So we got some IMDb reviews, we got some Rotten Tomatoes reviews. Who wants to start?
I'll go first. All right, my review comes from Peter Kowalowski, who writes, "It's 2021, industry, catch up. Straight actors playing gay characters is as okay as white people playing black ones. It's 2021. This beep is not going to fly anymore. 1 out of 10.
So wait, was that a self-censor?
Yes.
Okay.
S, 3 asterisks.
Odd choice.
Yeah, I like the reviews that are just mad about one thing and don't say anything else.
1 out of 30 found this helpful.
Is it the... I mean, I guess that's a thing now, right? It feels... Okay, so... The only time I've ever heard this brought up as like a thing is when they're talking about cis actors playing a trans person.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
That feels like a very different scenario than a straight person playing a gay person.
It kind of depends, I guess. Like,
and besides, we do see Ewan McGregor have gay sex on camera, so he's gay now.
It's true. I get that's how that works.
Like, I could definitely see a straight performer doing a really offensive gay performance. That would be upsetting, right?
I've seen some reviews on IMDb saying this was a caricature.
I don't know what Halston sounds like, so I can't tell if it's a caricature or not.
You don't know what Halston sounds like? Swanson, he's Halston.
He's a big deal. I heard of him before I watched this, for sure.
He's a big deal. He's so big that his fashion line no longer exists.
Rest in peace.
But he did stuff, so it's important to know what he did.
He invented backless dresses.
Well, if it's a caricature, then I'm offended. If it's not, then I'm indifferent. How about that?
Okay.
I mean, I guess I can see it from the standpoint of you want gay people to get the same billing that a straight person would get.
Yeah, I think there was probably enough gay people applying to this to let them have one of the jobs, right?
Yeah, like I mean, yes, Ewan McGregor is a big name, but I mean, it's a Netflix show. We didn't need I guess Ewan McGregor is the reason someone watches this show. Maybe is what Netflix is betting on. You see Ewan McGregor's name and you're like, oh, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Is that who that is?
Yes,
well, yeah, in the prequels, that's who it is.
It's a guy from all the memes.
It's not the already old man from the first Star Wars movie who's somehow still alive and younger.
No, he's not. No, Alec Guinness died in 2000.
Yeah, he died a long time ago.
Don't you dare.
Yeah, he got killed by Darth Vader, I know.
Yes.
Yeah. I can see it. I guess it's not a point. It's a point that feels weird to make in an entire review, but
I feel like
I can see the point.
The nature of discrimination that gay people experience isn't the same. It's not the same, way that black people experience discrimination. Because usually you can't tell if someone's gay at a glance.
True. Yeah, you've got to stalk them and figure out what they're doing with their life. And then be mad about it. Good review. All right, what's...
Good review.
Let's get to the Rotten Tomatoes reviews, huh?
Yes.
All right, so over on the Rotten Tomatoes page, fans, audiences, loved this show all around. 83%.
Wow.
Yeah, review for this show.
Is that a tomato?
That's no, it's a bucket of popcorn. It's the audience score.
Oh, what's the review?
The critics score less enthusiastic, but still enjoyable. It's a 65%. That's a tomato.
That's a D.
Is that like a mushy tomato or a fresh one?
As far as Rotten Tomatoes is concerned, that's a full tomato.
But it's probably kind of mealy, right?
So wait,
I don't know what
100%. Is that a tomato
I don't know what
and a half?
No, it's all just a tomato Well, actually, once you get to, like, I think past, like, 85%, you get a little certified.
You get like a badge.
Yeah.
The Nintendo seal of quality.
But, yeah, this is a 65. I feel like the threshold is, like, 63, so it's just at the line. But a plethora of both positive and negative reviews. Mm-hmm. I'll start with this negative review from Tom Long of Detroit News. What formed the man? We get nothing.
Excuse me?
Instead, we get a facade, which very well may be what Halston presented to the world, but it offers little to work with dramatically.
And yet, a semblance of the real is hidden in the false.
What formed the man?
Where does one man end and another begin?
Halston, this summer.
Well, I would know. What kind of trailer is that? No one would approve that.
It's accurate. Yeah, so, what formed the man? We don't know. I feel like that's fair criticism. It does seem like the character is probably, I am assuming purposely aloof.
Probably. He's a little bit of a rude boy.
It's hard to do a biography of a character where you can't get into the inner workings of their mind because you don't know it.
What if Halston had a mind palace?
That would be fun, but it's just a bunch of like gay stuff going on in there.
Why does it have to be gay stuff, Swanson?
Because that's just how his mind operates. It's gay stuff and orchids, apparently.
Oh my God. Orchids are gay, though.
Well, orchids are only gay if you're a gay person. And you like orchids. I've got a review here for Susan Granger. It's from www.susangranger.com.
Oh. Wow, she must be good if she has her own website named after her.
Along with a photo that looks like it was taken in 1892.
What?
Is it black and white?
No, it is colorized, but it does look very old. In this stylistic yet sordid miniseries, Ewan McGregor's compelling performance is perfection personified.
What
do you think she found sordid?
The gay sex?
Sordid, rather. Yeah, all that gay sex going on.
I think the existence of homosexuality in general, probably.
I think the idea of trying to make a lot of money is pretty despicable.
Oh yeah, that is gross.
True. 7 out of 10 was what she rated that. So I guess it was a compelling performance, but not. She calls it perfection personified, but not enough to give the score higher than a 7.
Well, because it was so deeply immoral with all the gay stuff.
Or maybe she was mad that it was a black lover that he had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very sordid.
She's a Buttigieg supporter. She's pro gay rights, but
anti-miscegenation.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, what a wonderful world we live in.
I just think people should stay with their own.
Why is it Marge Simpson's voice? Homie, you know what I think about Carl and his new girlfriend.
You know what I think about Carl, Lenny. What do you mean, Marge? Haven't you noticed that they've been hanging out a lot?
They're best friends.
I feel like we're 3 seasons away from that being an actual plot.
Probably.
All right, so we got some final ones here. Don't we? Got some more IMDb's.
Yes, yeah. Theo. My boy.
So I've got a review from Cable Guy 70729.
Jim Carrey's in the house.
And this is a 1 out of 10. And it says, sponsored by the tobacco industry. Disgusting. and it reads, sponsored by the tobacco industry. Each and every take has someone smoking.
Yeah. Do you think this person really loved Mad Men?
1 out of 29 found this helpful.
That was the 60s. They didn't have anything better to do back then.
Yeah, that's what happened before the internet, was people were just constantly smoking.
Have you seen movies from the 60s? They sucked ass.
Yeah.
And this one's a 5 out of 10. It reads, one more F.G
Uh-oh.
smoked cigarette, and I never watch again.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be something else.
Whew.
No.
We almost had a Pride Month fiasco on our hands.
And this is by Minions with a Z.
Oh my god.
46692.
Okay, that person definitely is homophobic, but...
Yeah, they definitely do not want a banana.
And it reads, one more smoked cigarette, and I never watch again.
Ooh.
And then it says, all caps, horrible, horrible, horrible. 10 out of 34 found this helpful.
Wow, okay. I don't know why that one got more than the previous.
Well, I guess the other one was seen as derivative. Well, this one was seen as
many people... Like, imagine turning on a show and, like, the people are smoking, and you're just like, oh, enough with this already.
Think of the children.
Enough of this period-accurate behavior.
They may have smoked that much back then, but I don't want to see it. I wish I could smoke indoors next to other people and no one cares.
Yeah, it's good. That's a quality. There's quality reviews there, Kieran. I like that both of them were focused on the smoking, so we know that there's many people who think that that's a problem.
What if they were smoking weed?
And what was Stairs mad about? Stairs was much more legitimate than mine, I think.
Mine was just mad that a straight guy was playing a historical gay man.
Yeah, that's like a legitimate gripe.
Yeah,
not
I
that.
guess.
Like, there's at least a theory there in terms of like getting people who would not normally be up for roles a job.
Mm-hmm. But like the casting director is not going to know the sexuality of people applying.
Yeah, I think it would actually be like that's a bad idea, right? To specifically ask that kind of question.
Give that information out? Yeah, I would say so. That would cause more problems in the long run.
I don't know. But it's
I think
definitely
John Travolta should be canceled for playing a trans woman or playing a woman. In Hairspray, though.
In Hairspray, isn't that traditionally a thing, though?
Yeah, and I think the British should be canceled as well.
Yeah, it's true. Shakespeare should be canceled, I think, for making everyone think this was a good idea.
If that's even its name.
Which it's not.
Edward Teach.
That's it for the rabble. We'll be back in a little bit to talk about Halston. For now, though, let's go ahead and talk about what we watched this week. Anything fun, interesting?
No.
Whoa, Stairmaster with the hard-hitting content here.
Didn't watch anything in a whole week. I'll listen. We had a whole big segment about Gundam, so I feel like most people are Gundam'd out. Also, I know Kyo did watch Gundam probably, so I'm just gonna say I'm slowly making it through Zeta Gundam. Until I say otherwise, just assume that I am slowly making it through Zeta Gundam. When I am finished, there'll be discussions.
Alright. How many of Jared's girlfriends have died so far?
Only the one.
Oh, okay. You're not far.
But Poptimus is here. And he's like, everyone's like, this guy's wild.
What a creep.
What a nasty man.
Alright.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any Gundam actually. I just kind of fell off it for the time being. I'll be back though.
They always come back.
Yeah, Kia's gonna take a peek around the corner and see if it and come back.
Yeah, I just haven't been watching anything, so.
I'll take a peek around the corner and see that red Zaku head peeking out.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
And then he'll run and tell everybody before dying horribly.
Wow, thank you for giving a grim portent to my future.
Yeah, love doing it. All right, well, let's get to the news, huh?
I guess.
We've discussed before that there was a live-action Powerpuff Girls show in the works at CW.
For better
Sounded bad.
or worse.
Yes. And it turns out, according to CEO of CW, Mark Pitowitz, it was for worse.
Hold on, what's his name?
Pitowitz.
Oh, that's funny?
Yeah, because it sounds like pedo.
No, it sounds like it's like I'm a little guy. I'm a little guy.
Mark Pitowitz.
Oh, please help me.
Oh, it's me, Mark. Oh, I'm Mark Pitowitz.
Oh.
So you're saying he's a little man?
He's a little man.
Little man Mark Pitowitz.
So you're saying he's a 5'0" king?
Yes.
That's right.
The shorter you are, the taller the crown.
The Powerpuff reboot is currently on pause as they have to reshoot the pilot because the first version, as Pedowitz says, is too campy and just a miss.
Too campy for the CW?
Too campy.
This adaptation of a children's cartoon, a comedic children's cartoon.
Too campy. By the way, a comedic children's cartoon that's being written by the lady who wrote Juno.
Oh no!
Is too campy.
Well, what was Juno?
That was about the lady who got pregnant.
Yeah,
okay, I was gonna say don't make fun of me if this is wrong, but is this about a teen pregnancy?
Yeah, that was Elliot Page and Michael Cera are there.
Hey, well, I'm glad I didn't just think that wrongly because that would have been very embarrassing to say that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so they. CW, not fans of the initial go-around. So they decided to do a redo. We're not sure at this moment, I guess, what that's going to entail. But the version... There have been rumors about what the leaked script... There was a leaked script that they can't... It's never been confirmed if the leaked script is actually true or not, but it was a doozy, apparently. It was a thing about, basically, all of the Powerpuff Girls are, jaded 20-somethings.
They're separated. Sort of like a Girls 5 Eva type situation.
Yeah. The, so in the show, there's a narrator in this version as well. And apparently it describes Buttercup as a hard ass.
What? Wouldn't that be more Blossom's thing?
You would think. Blossom, of course, is a lesbian.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Or no, wait, which one's Blossom again?
Blossom is the
one with the bow.
Blossom is not a lesbian, sorry. Buttercup is the lesbian.
Okay, who's the blonde one?
Bubbles?
Bubbles is I think she's an Instagram person.
Okay, that does make sense as well.
After the Powerpuff Girls disband, she moves to Hollywood. She's apparently hung over twice in the pilot and has 3 failed reality show pilots. It is implied that she got into porn at one point.
Oh my...
Why are they doing this?
It's a great question. Why are they doing this? Buttercup is a lesbian. The show does not make you forget it. This is according to the write-up that I've seen on this script that may or may not be real, but let's assume the worst of humanity here.
Honestly, they're probably all gay. All 3 of them.
She's a lesbian because she's got short hair and she's tough.
Yeah, so she's got to be a lesbian. And I love that we sort of looped back around to just go diving right into stereotypes now.
Oh my god, what?
In terms of inclusion, we decided to just lean into stereotypes more. She is apparently very open and proud of cheating with her girlfriend and getting away with it multiple times.
What?
She stopped superheroing and moved to Oregon, lived on a farm, and moonlights as a firefighter.
Oh, it sounds
I feel like this is also looping back around to AIs writing the show too.
This feels like an AI written show, right?
I mean, the corporations are influencing these scripts, and corporations are essentially an artificial intelligence.
Yeah, very true. Blossom, meanwhile, abandons her family and eventually attends a quote-unquote elite women's university in the Northeast before becoming a biotech scientist.
A woman's only university?
Yeah. She apparently sees a therapist and hallucinates her inner child throughout the pilot, whatever that means.
This is like a cops called situation on this show, I think.
Here's the worst part about the Bubbles part, or Blossom part. She can't fly without taking a Xanax first.
Oh, so it's like The Sopranos. And Buttercup is doing the Johnny Cake storyline.
Essentially. Oh, yeah, let's wait till you hear about Professor Utonium. He's basically a pageant dad who exploited the kids into superheroing for a media franchise.
That's not true.
Well, that feels like something that would be an episode.
Like an episode where then he would learn his lesson and say he's sorry.
He tries to reconnect with the girls, but the end of the episode reveals he has a hidden lab with lots of evil experiments.
Okay. All right. Who wrote this?
Bad people, I guess.
Get him on the pod. Get him on the pod.
Hitler.
Get him on the pod.
Well, hold on. We're not even. That's just through the main people that we know.
Ooh.
Sarah Bellum is Professor Utonium's girlfriend and the surrogate mom of the girls. She left Utonium after he angrily told her that despite living together for 9 years, she isn't family.
What?
Joseph Mojo Mondale was Utonium's assistant and the one who actually invented Chemical X. But because he wasn't a pretty boy, Drake cut him out of the media franchise, which turned him into a supervillain.
But he's not a monkey?
He's not a monkey, I guess. He's fully human.
Okay, fuck up. I've heard enough. Bye.
Get these writers on the pod. We're gonna really give them a piece of our minds. Let's turn this into a debate bro podcast where we bring on TV writers and debate them about why what they wrote isn't good.
Yeah, this is bad. There's also apparently.
I'm not kidding. Let's do it. Let's
get Michael. Let's get Michael Imperioli on to talk about the Christopher Columbus episode.
Yeah.
There's apparently a bit a runner throughout the episode about the mayor of Townsville, who I guess is JoJo. I don't know if they mean who's JoJo.
There's no JoJo.
Jonathan Joestar.
Yeah, like they mean one of the Joestars.
Yes.
Do they mean JoJo Siwa, famous, infamous child singer?
I thought didn't we talk about how there was going to be a JoJo son whose name is something else? Is that
maybe that's him? I don't know.
What happened to the mayor of Townsville? Is he dead?
I guess there's just a new mayor, and his name is JoJo.
They probably noticed how hot his assistant was and asked unfortunate questions that ruined his career.
Yeah. Anyway, the thing I'm getting from this show is not that it was too campy.
That it wasn't campy enough.
Yeah, that they were trying to make it, like, serious and edgy.
They were like, what if the Powerpuff Girls were real people?
This is what happens.
Real problems. Real stereotypes.
These are real women.
I like a Dexter's Laboratory CW show where Mandark is suffering from being on the spectrum.
Yeah. Well, both he and Dexter would be on the spectrum.
But
just on different sides.
Dexter has a cocaine problem.
The good side and the evil side.
DD's an Instagram influencer.
Yes.
Dexter's
making a nuke in his basement.
Yeah.
He's so bitter
Dexter's mom has an OnlyFans page.
Okay, let's. Okay, I'm done. Nope.
Dexter's dad died in a car crash.
Yeah. His final words were, "You can call me Dad." Anyway, let's not give the CW any ideas here. This already sounds bad. And
look, just think of it, Swanson. Dexter is an incel.
Oh no.
And a chud.
Yeah, he would be. Are you saying he's completely Magified?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, no. So Mandark's the good guy?
No, he gets over it.
Oh, okay. It's like an arc for him.
He doesn't become like a good person. He just like stops talking about it.
That's really
Now,
the best
normally-
you can hope for.
Now, if I were a TV executive and I heard this Powerpuff Girls pilot, I would just scrap the whole thing. CW is never one to just leave potential rebooting opportunities on the table, so they're just shelving it indefinitely until they can come up with a better pilot. That does mean it's not going to show up on this year's schedule, but
How can they fix that? Like they have to
They can't.
just do it over completely without keeping any of the ideas we heard because they were all bad, every one of them.
there was not a good idea that I heard in that whole group of ideas. It was all just like down the like. If we watched that show for the podcast, I would say it might be the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I heard some things
It'd
that
be
were
the most
like
terrifying.
I heard some things that were plausible, like this could happen. Like I could see Bubbles being like a social media person, but that's like the most obvious, easy thing you could possibly write, right?
It's up there with making Buttercup a butch lesbian.
And like I said before, let's be honest, they're all gay, probably. A lot of them.
Also, I guess that canonically means that spice is the gayest ingredient.
Yes. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
True.
So it's something to think about. Speaking of gay people, as we know, it's Pride Month, and the Paramount Network has celebrated it by announcing that in the new Rugrats show, of which we have discussed at length as well, Phil and Lil's mom, Betty, will be gay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is actually very similar to the Buttercup scenario where they took a cartoon character who looked kind of masculine but was a woman, and they said, you know what, lesbian. In this case, though, she's being voiced now by queer actor Natalie Morales, so I guess at least that's good.
But who cares about the parents? Make one of the babies gay.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. In the show, she had like a husband, didn't she?
Yeah, no, he's dead, and that's why she's gay now, because she knows no D will ever be as good as his.
He was like the very like boring parent.
Oh.
He was like a loser dad, like what's going on, guys?
Like Stu was like a loser dad as well, but at least he was like an inventor, so there's like fun comedy there. And Chucky's dad was like severely destroyed from years of being single.
Ooh.
So yeah. Although it is nice of the Rugrats to eventually make sure that we know that Chucky's dad does get it wet.
Am I being destroyed by years of being single?
Yeah, what you need to do is grow a mustache like Chucky's dad.
Oh, you know what? I will.
Challenge accepted. So yeah, Betty, the mom of Phil and Lil, is going to be gay now. And I guess that just means her old husband is no longer in the show. It's just gone. Disappeared.
Who cared about him anyway?
He's not mentioned, and in the still that I've seen for this show, he's not there. So,
you can't even remember him. Are we sure he even existed in the first place?
I'm almost positive he existed.
I'm looking at him right here.
All right,
he's in my house.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Stop the podcast.
You need to. Yeah, that man.
He looks like Rolf.
It's grown up. It's Rolf, all grown up.
Oh god, his hair got whiter, I guess, from graying out. Lighter from graying out, I guess.
This guy looks like he plays in a band that no one listens to on the side.
Can I borrow a feeling?
Like he plays in like a Fish cover band on the weekends.
It looks like he walks into the room and he apologizes, and you're like, "Why are you saying sorry?" He's like, "I'm sorry."
Oh, that's me.
He goes into the room and it says sorry, and everyone just stares, and then he shuts up and never talks again for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a. No wonder they decided to get rid of this guy.
He's better off dead. He's probably happier that way.
Here's him 10 years later.
Oh my god. This is a man who just went to war and came back.
Oh no.
This is a 43-year-old man. He looks like he's in his late 60s.
He also looks like he's 5'0".
Yeah, he looks like he's going to tell you about a show that he watched from 50 years ago. And give you the plot synopsis.
He's in his deathbed too, as he says this to you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, imagine me in my deathbed just trying to tell people about Char Aznable.
This later picture of the Howard looks like he's gonna come up to you and be like, the election was rigged.
I've done everything wrong.
My life is a sham.
Wow, what a bleak program the Rugrats was, apparently.
Yeah. It's probably better for this guy that he's been erased from existence. The new voice actor for Betty did have this to say in an interview. Anyone who watched the... sort of. Anyone who watched the original show may have had an inkling Betty was a member of the Alphabet Mafia. Betty is a single mom with her own... she describes what the new version of the character is going to be. Betty is a single mom with her own business who has twins and still has time to hang out with her friends and her community. I think it's just so great because examples of living your life happily and healthily as an out queer person is just such a beacon for young queer people who may not have examples of that. Alright, so that's good enough, I guess.
Unfortunately, young queer people will never have enough money to have kids of their own.
Yeah, very true. They're going to have to rely on...
Definitely true. None of them will ever have children. Thank you, Stare.
Yeah, we're all actually never having children. It turns out that we're actually... the world dies with us.
Yes. We're the last generation.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to do it, but it's going to be very financially unpleasant.
She apparently owns a cafe called Betty's Beans.
Wow.
Which sounds like...
That's how she got the job.
Yeah.
Wait, the actress or the character?
No, the character is running a place called Betty's Beans, which sounds like there could be some jokes in there, right?
No.
No?
I sure hope not.
She hopes that this gay character gets no screen time.
Betty will not be talking about how no one's been messing with her beans lately.
Oh.
Anyway, I guess we're just all going to have to figure out what happens when the Rugrats come into town. And by all of us, I mean whoever the fuck watches it, because hopefully it's not going to be us.
No, we'll just watch Gundam again if it comes down to it.
Yeah. Alright, well, that's it for the news. And there's not much else going on in the world of, it was a holiday, so it's not much else going on. So I think there's only one thing left for us to do.
Oh, wait, we have to salute the troops.
Oh, yeah, because it was Memorial Day like a week ago from when this gets released.
God save the Queen. Da, 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 da,
you can't see it, but I am saluting right now.
Yeah, just assume that we're all saluting, actually.
We're saluting the troops who weren't racist. Not the ones who were.
All, two of them.
The one troop.
Yeah. Let's get into our main event, huh?
Yes.
Halston is the story of a man who leverages his single invented name into a worldwide fashion empire that's synonymous with luxury, sex, status, and fame, literally defining the era. Halston is available on Netflix. Did Halston make you guys feel fashionable, or did it leave you in the dirt? Rending your garments.
Soiled.
In the textile mill, being torn apart by the machinery.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is
this show isn't bad, but it feels like it should have just been a movie, a 2-hour biopic.
That's 100% what I was thinking. This is not it's in terms of shows that we've watched, especially Netflix shows, it's actually pretty good in comparison to Netflix shows for a couple of reasons, but it does feel like it should have just been a movie instead of a 5-hour long miniseries.
If we try to talk about what happened in this episode, we could actually sum it up in probably 5 minutes, probably, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So, first off, getting some very positive, minutia details out of the way here. I really enjoy that this is a Netflix program that is under an hour. Mm-hmm. We're not wasting time here.
And he's Halston in the first episode.
Yeah, he's Halston the moment we see him, essentially. Second thing I like about this, for 45 minutes on a Netflix show, they go through a good bit of stuff.
Yeah. I thought that, it's kind of shocking they skipped over the Jackie Kennedy thing.
Yeah, that's actually very wild. I feel like that would have been a whole episode. If this weren't 5 episodes, I feel like they would have done a whole episode on that. But they didn't, so they just moved along. It also leads me to believe that maybe he's just not that interesting of a person.
Uh-oh.
In reality.
Well, there was a movie released about him in 2019, I think.
Maybe he is.
Must have been some interest.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and he is an interesting person. It's just that, they do skip over a lot of just years of this person's life. Maybe they go back to it later. I don't know, but so third thing that I really liked about this, they tease us that they might be doing the jumping between timelines thing. Nope.
Oh, no.
They don't do that. They make you think it's what's going to happen. It's not what happens in this.
Thank God.
I've never breathed a sigh of relief more than that there was a TV show that didn't do it.
We get Swanson, one flashback at the start, and that's it.
Swanson, you sound like somebody who has an abusive ex, and then your new partner is not doing that, and you're just so relieved by it.
I am. I feel like it's increased in the last year. The last year we've been watching shows for the podcast that it's just been a very lazy writing technique recently. Yeah, I feel like early on in the pod we were not experiencing this as much as we have in recent.
It always thoroughly baffles us because it's never really added anything to the narrative at all.
No. In fact, in this case, the jumping around does add to it a little bit. It's kind of fun. Okay, so to explain it a little bit, this show has one trick essentially that it does.
Yeah,
which is that
is gay.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one.
Trick. That's a trick.
That's right. It's a fun party trick.
Sodomy's pretty fun, it seems.
Yeah.
From what we saw in the show, I
guess that's true.
They don't make it seem very fun. They make it seem like something that happens over the course of 5 seconds.
Unnecessary burden.
No, it seems like it happens in the course of 5 seconds, which I don't know how that could be fun.
You're right. They should have made it longer.
True.
They should have made it 20 minutes.
It should have been like the Terminator sex scene.
20 minutes of just pounding.
Yeah, the same. They're not going to actually film it for 20 minutes. They're just going to put the same 5-second clip on 20-minute loop.
Yeah, now we're talking. So yes, the actual trick that the show does is that frequently the show will do it'll just cut to the next scene.
Yes.
Right when a moment that makes it seem, I guess, a climactic moment, essentially. When we get introduced to Halston and he's making these hats, he goes into his shop the next day and everyone wants these hats because Jackie Kennedy wore them. And he's like, I love Jackie Kennedy. And then smash cut to 1968 and he says, fuck Jackie Kennedy. It's just it's a fun little thing. It's nice to see a smash cut effectively used.
Why don't women wear hats anymore?
Yeah, apparently a lot of people in 1968 are worried that not just women, people aren't wearing hats anymore.
People aren't wearing hats anymore.
It's true. When's the last time you saw a guy with a hat?
Yeah, I wouldn't be caught dead in a hat, personally.
We've discussed before on the pod, I think on a Gilmore Girls episode, that there are hat people and there are hair people. And I feel like there are more hair people now than there are hat people.
I mean, mullets did become big around the 70s and into the 80s.
Literally.
It's true. Yeah. They became bigger and bigger until we had to shave them off for fear of them getting their own orbit. The gravitational pull was weighing down on all of the hair.
There was a major hat decline that we never recovered from. There was a point in time where every proper gentleman wore a fine hat.
Yeah, now it's just Super Mario.
True.
And his hat's like a ghost, too, now.
The closest you get is the drunk guy at the party who has a bucket hat.
That's me.
That's the closest you get to a hat these days. Or like old-fashioned racists who wear cowboy hats.
Yeah, or MAGA hats.
Oh yeah, that's true. I guess that was...
Oh no! My dad wears cowboy hats, I just realized.
Uh-oh.
Looks like you need to have a talk with your dad.
What am I going to say?
Tell your dad that you have a black boyfriend and his name is Junior Mint and see how he reacts to it.
You did...
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Kyo, you're getting like Joe Biden brain. Where did you come up with that name?
Listen, me and Junior Mint, we used to hang out all the time.
We hung out on the Grove and shared many a kiss.
He loved trains.
I'm just thinking, come up with a name that's so unbelievable that he has to believe it.
Yeah. Me and Junior Mint, we used to get his favorite ice cream flavor was double chocolate chip.
It's a real shame what happened to him.
Real shame what happened to him. The economy crashed onto him. He died.
That's why I'm here as
and
president.
And also the KKK got him. But it was the economy.
Both.
So yeah, this guy. I don't know if we can do it justice by doing like a full on. This is what happens in this episode thing. Basically, flashback wise, there's a brief bit in 1961 when Jackie Kennedy's wearing this hat. And then there's a flashback at the beginning to him young and like making hats for his mom after she's being beaten up by his dad.
Yeah, that's at the start. That's the cold open.
Yeah. And then from there we're mostly in 1968.
Uh-huh.
As he's like putting together this
team.
I like this first 20 minutes sort of feels like a heist movie, but they're just making dresses.
Yeah, they're putting the team together.
Outfits.
I guess that's true. They're actually making a whole brand.
Yes.
Yeah, because like it even comes down to he's talking with Ed, his current lover, and he is like, yeah, it's even set up like a getting to team together sort of thing where he's like, all right, so I got Joe, and Joe, he's real down to earth. He's gonna tell it like it is. Next, we got Joel. He's a guy that I ran into and he seemed cool. And like he lays out the whole team.
He was in the store window and I said, did you do this? Yeah. And he said, yeah, I did this. And was like, you're going to come working for me now. And
Joel, by the way, Joel Schumacher, famed director of such classics as Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. As well as
Falling Down.
Yeah, Falling Down, The Lost Boys, Phantom of the Opera, Phone Booth.
Mobile Suit Gundam, Char's Counterattack.
Yep, little known fact, he did that one.
That's wild.
Yeah, but yeah, he started out as a costume designer, and I guess apparently before that worked for Halston briefly, as we see here. Also, I guess did tons of heroin.
Same.
I thought he was doing speed.
Isn't speed heroin? Is that different?
No, speed is amphetamines. Very different. That's the opposite of what heroin does.
I'm pretty sure the IMDb reviewers all said he was taking heroin.
I'm looking at Wikipedia, and it says he used LSD, methamphetamines, and started drinking alcohol by age 9.
All right, I am going to side with the rabble on this one. He was taking heroin.
Okay. Not,
All right.
even though Wikipedia is also a website of the rabble.
Oh, wait. No, I think actually Stare is right on this scenario because
Yes.
Halston, when he finds him in the bathroom in the very strange scene that they have, he's like, what are you doing? Heroin? And he's like, no, I don't do that. I do speed.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the rabble are right on this one. And Wikipedia is not by the rabble. Those are like professional nerds on Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah. That's true. That's what they say.
Aren't we professional nerds? I guess we're hobbyists.
That's why we're not the rabble.
We're professional talking nerds into a microphone.
You're right.
Yeah, I've only edited like 10 wiki articles in my lifetime to add the facts in. As you
and
know.
all about Chongus, too.
I edited
the popular Chongus article on Wikipedia.
Would you do the Sonic article, Stairmaster?
I don't even remember.
Stair put like I'm 12 and what is this on the Sonic car?
Yeah,
article.
probably. A 4chan thread was definitely involved.
It's still there to this day. Also, in addition to being introduced to Joel Schumacher, speed fanatic, we also get introduced to Liza Minnelli, who I guess is apparently was a close personal friend to Halston. And that's nice, I guess. It seems very weird that she's in this. Because I didn't know anything about Halston when I went into this, and I certainly didn't expect Liza Minnelli and a person playing Liza Minnelli should just show up and do a number. But I mean, I guess she's good in the role. She doesn't really do much in this episode.
We should have got to see her breasts, in my opinion.
Well, you always want that from every female in the entire world, Stair.
Yes.
And sometimes males.
No, I do not want to see any men's breasts.
Let me see that guy's breasts.
Enhanced computer.
Google, look this man's dick up. So he has his team together here, and what we get is a lot of scenes of him like charming people into giving him money.
Yes.
He's kind of a con man. But he I guess delivers.
So the opposite of a con man.
Yeah, he's
Not
he's a man. He was a what?
A knock man.
He's a he's a pro man.
Oh, I guess you're right.
There you go.
Well, he's definitely pro man.
Well, yeah. Is that what that means?
Thank you for explaining that, Stair.
Yeah.
Well, since he's a man and he's pro man, yes.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
He gets there's a big scene where he gets like a financial backer by telling her how like this one guy in Paris like makes everyone feel uncomfortable and unwanted. He doesn't do that. He's not going to do that at his place. Although it is a funny scene, sort of, because he's like, I need $1 million. And she's like, how about 100,000 and also you hire my son? And he's like, all right.
Good enough, right?
And
I mean, 100,000 in 1968, that's almost $1 million.
Yeah, so asking for $1 million then is actually even more ridiculous. So it's essentially a heist movie where he's just recruiting a bunch of randos because none of them have personalities outside of him.
Yes.
Well, I guess Schumacher gets a little bit of a personality because he helps design the dresses that don't sell.
Everyone's just kind of there accepting abuse from him for a while, I think.
Yeah. The only person who stood out outside of Liza Minnelli being there for like a few scenes was Schumacher, because they have that very strange. It seems like they have a couple scenes where he's like, "Listen, I can't be having a dope addict in my group," And he's like, all right, but I'll kick the habit. And he's like, you better or else.
I do not like to work with unpredictable elements.
I mean, he does have some fring tendencies.
Like being gay?
He's a very cautious man.
Yeah. Oh, well, see, fring is only heavily hinted to be gay, though. They confirm numerous times that this man is gay.
Hard confirm.
Yeah. Hard and rough confirm. Yeah, this show is sort of the reverse Netflix in terms of pacing, because they just go through it. This would take like 3 episodes of a normal Netflix show.
Yes.
There's also the problem of like, so I feel like a lot of the conversations that they have in this are just people explaining character traits to one another.
Pretty much.
Like Liza Minnelli and Halston have a conversation where Liza Minnelli, at a conversation with someone at random, brings up her mom, Judy Garland, and says that she does not want to be compared to her. And compares that to the situation that Halston goes through. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed this at the beginning. When Halston picks up his on again, off again boyfriend for this episode, Ed, as his name, he compares his struggle to that of Ed's, a black man's.
Oh.
Do you think they're comparable situations?
Isn't he like just kind of having fun with his life, pretty much?
Yeah, he seems like, I mean, like, I don't know, maybe he was going for like a I'm gay sort of thing, but also so is Ed. He's gay and
they're
black.
both gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody needs to tell this man about intersectionality.
Yeah. How does he not know this in 1968?
Yeah, I would have sat him down and had a real talking to him about this.
Yeah. But yeah, there's just a lot of discussions that don't feel like people talking so much as like plot, character information being explained.
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot of like character exposition.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like the reason that this show, I'm like in the middle on this show is because Ewan McGregor is just knocking it out of the park. They're giving him like some mostly mediocre material, and he's
agreed.
He's hitting home runs constantly.
Oh, he's just a naturally charming guy.
Yeah, the performances are pretty good.
Yeah,
but yeah, like there's not really much material here.
Yeah, it's weird it seems like they go through a lot, but at the same time, when you're trying to go back and recap it, it's like they did what? And then what happened?
I feel like he set up the fashion business, and I feel like episode 2 could just be him ruining the fashion business and dying of AIDS, and that'd be it.
Yeah. Yeah,
How is there 4 more episodes of this?
Well, they have to probably get to him hanging out in Studio 54 all the time. And then...
we have montages for that.
I mean, that would be great, yeah. They do some montages in this episode, and there is some style to the proceedings here. But yeah, it should be mentioned this is a Ryan Murphy joint. I think Stair mentioned that.
This is the least Ryan Murphy show I've seen.
Yeah. This is definitely nothing like Hollywood or Ratchet. Yeah, it's definitely the most subdued version of Ryan Murphy's vision.
What is his vision, Swanson?
Like gaudy pieces of soap opera.
Yeah,
the soap opera elements are here for sure, though. What'd you say?
Mm-hmm. This can't be gaudy by its very nature, because fashion's about elegance.
It's true. Yeah, this well, I don't think he does any of that. Not this week. There's a bit near the end where he has like a pointless argument with his boyfriend.
Yeah.
That seemed tacked on. But anyway, this ends with him finally getting a deal with a famous lady.
Yeah, Hugo Boss.
That's right. And that's like the end of this. So, in total here, it was 45 minutes, but like a lot of stuff happened, but then
not really.
Yeah, it's hard to describe this show because it feels like a lot happened and like a lot of stuff was conveyed, and yet so little of it stuck.
Yeah,
a lot of the problem is that we've seen this plot play out in like probably about
Countless.
50 different programs.
Yeah, this is actually...
I feel like the plot would work better as a movie.
Yeah, and even then, I feel like it might be a boilerplate biopic, because it does feel like just generic biopic stuff.
Yeah, the writing isn't that great, like as mentioned. It's mostly carried by Ian McGregor.
Yeah. Alright, well, what final thoughts here? What do you think of this show?
Yeah, it was like, it was competent, but it didn't have anything new going for it.
Didn't have any flair.
Yeah, in terms of Netflix programs we watched, it's surprisingly good in terms of pacing, but I don't know, it didn't have anything to make me want to watch more of it, to be honest.
Yeah, same here.
I'm about to give this a tune out.
Yeah, an unfortunate tune out on this one.
Yeah, that's the thing, there's potential here probably. It definitely sort of feels like the Serpent situation, where the actual person's life may be more interesting than what we saw in this episode.
I mean, the Serpent, there's a literal man who killed a bunch of people and was like an ultra criminal. There's just no way that was that boring.
Right. I guess in this one it could just be that the person was boring, but like, I don't know. I think the main problem here is something that was mentioned in a critic's review that we talked about, which is that Halston is like an enigmatic figure that no one can figure out. Even his biographers don't really get a handle on him.
He doesn't seem to have much of an interior life besides having a boyfriend.
Yeah, like if you're doing a biopic on a guy like that, I feel like you got to do it from another person's perspective.
Yeah, that would probably be right.
Because you can't. That way, he still feels like that mystical figure. Like, imagine if. I mean, I don't know. You could do it from like Joel Schumacher's perspective. Maybe that would be very strange, but or just make a character up. It's Hollywood, baby.
Yeah, just make a little man, like
a little man.
Yeah, make little Mark Bidowitz.
Yeah, like a gnome, a garden gnome.
Oh yeah, a little garden gnome who
comes to life.
Yeah, he comes to life at night and helps Halston with his designs.
Oh my god, okay. That's enough from TV tuners for this week.
Anyway, that's a tune out on Halston. And that's about it for this week's episode of the show. Hey, listen, if you liked that and you thought, I wish I could give them a specific topic to discuss, maybe like a TV show or a movie or just anything I could think of, well, you're in luck. If you head over to buymeacoffee/TV tuners, you can do just that. A single coffee gives you a single topic for us to discuss. We're continuing our Gilmore Girls series, where we've been watching a few episodes of Gilmore Girls, as Bob wrote to us from that page. We still have a couple other things to get through on our Buy Me a Coffee, but hey, better go over there, buy us a coffee, and it'll be coming your way, a bonus episode. But if bonus episodes aren't your thing, of course, we'll still be back next week with more TV goodness. Until then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
Hey folks, time for the TV Tuners Denver fact of the week. Did you know that Stairmaster has his own fashion line?
It's true.
Dicks by Stairmaster.
Why?